Hello, everyone. Welcome to Speak English with Cath. I'm very happy you're here with us today. If you are learning English and sometimes feel nervous when speaking with new people, this episode is for you. Many English learners understand a lot of English. They can watch videos, they can read articles, they can even think in English sometimes. But when a real conversation starts, something changes. Your heart beats faster, your mind becomes blank, and suddenly the English you know disappears.
I feel like you are describing my life right now.
Really?
Yes, I can understand English podcasts very well. I can watch movies with subtitles. Sometimes I even talk to myself in English. But when I meet someone new, especially a native speaker, I suddenly feel shy. My brain just stops working.
That feeling is very common. In fact, many English learners around the world experience the same thing. It is not because you are bad at English. Often it is because you feel pressure.
Pressure?
Yes, when we speak with strangers, we often worry about many things. We worry about making mistakes, we worry about sounding strange, we worry that the other person will not understand us. And sometimes we worry that people will judge us.
Yes, that one feels very real. Sometimes I think, what if they think my English is bad?
That thought is very natural. But here is something important to remember. Most people are not judging your English. Most people are simply happy to communicate.
That's interesting, because in my mind it feels like they are analyzing every word I say.
That is our imagination working very hard. Let me share a small truth about communication. When people talk with you, they are usually focused on one thing, understanding your message, not judging your grammar.
So they care more about the meaning than the perfect sentence.
Exactly. Communication is about connection, not perfection. And this is something many learners forget. They think English speaking means perfect grammar, but in real life, communication is much simpler.
That makes me feel a little better. But I still feel nervous when starting a conversation.
Starting is often the hardest part. Once the conversation begins, it usually becomes easier. So today, we will talk about simple ways to start speaking with strangers in English. Very natural ways, very simple ways, and very real-life situations.
That sounds helpful, because sometimes I don't know what to say first.
That's a very common problem. So let's imagine a situation. You are in a coffee shop, you are waiting for your drink, and someone next to you starts talking. Maybe they say something like, "Hi, is this seat taken?"
Oh yes, that happens sometimes.
Now imagine they sit next to you and smile. Then they say, "Are you from around here?" What would you say?
Maybe I would say, yes, I live here.
Perfect. That is already a good answer, short and clear.
But then I don't know what to say next.
That's where simple follow-up questions help. In English conversation, asking questions keeps the conversation moving. For example, after you answer, you can ask something simple, like, "How about you?"
Oh, that's easy.
Exactly. Let's try it together. I'll be the stranger. Ready?
Okay, let's try.
"Hi, is this seat taken?"
No, you can sit here.
"Thank you. Are you from around here?"
Yes, I live here. How about you?
Nice. See how natural that sounds?
Actually, that feels very simple.
That's the beauty of real conversations. They don't need complicated sentences. They just need natural responses. Let's continue the conversation. I might say something like, "I'm visiting for a few days."
Then maybe I can say, oh, nice. Where are you visiting from?
Exactly. That is a perfect follow-up question. "I noticed something."
What did you notice?
These questions are very short.
Yes.
Natural English conversation often uses short sentences. For example, "Where are you from? How long are you staying? Is it your first time here?" Very simple, but very powerful.
That makes conversation feel less scary.
Good, because conversation should feel natural, not like a test. Let's talk about another real-life situation. Imagine you are at a language exchange event. Many people are there to practice English. You see someone standing alone. You want to start a conversation, but you feel nervous.
Yes, that situation would make me nervous.
So, what can you say? Here are 3 very natural starters. You can say, "Hi, is this your first time here?" Or, "Hi, are you learning English too?" Or, "Hi, where are you from?"
Those sound very friendly.
Yes, friendly and simple. And here is something important. Your smile is part of communication too.
That's true. A smile makes everything easier.
Exactly. Even if your English isn't perfect, a smile shows kindness and confidence.
But what if the other person speaks very fast? That happens to me sometimes.
That is another common fear, fast English.
Yes, when someone speaks too fast, I panic.
Let me teach you a very useful sentence. You can say, "Sorry, could you say that a little slower?"
That sounds polite.
Yes, and people usually respond very kindly. You can also say, "Sorry, I'm still learning English."
I like that one.
Why?
Because it explains the situation.
Exactly. When people understand you are learning, they often become more patient, and sometimes they even help you.
That would make me feel more relaxed.
Good, because confidence grows slowly. It grows with small conversations, small successes, and small brave moments. Speaking to strangers can feel scary at first, but every conversation is practice, and every practice makes you stronger.
I like that idea. Every conversation is practice.
Yes, not a test, practice. And when we think this way, something interesting happens. The fear slowly becomes curiosity. Instead of thinking, "What if I make a mistake?" you begin to think, "I wonder what conversation I will have today."
That's a very different feeling.
It is, and it can change your entire learning experience.
I'm starting to feel more confident already.
That's wonderful to hear, because confidence does not come from perfect English. It comes from using the English you already know and trusting that communication is possible. Let's continue exploring more real-life conversations and useful phrases. Let's continue exploring more real-life conversations and useful phrases. Now imagine another situation. You are standing in line at a coffee shop. The person in front of you turns around and smiles. Maybe they say something very simple, like, "Wow, the line is long today."
That sounds like a very normal thing people say.
Exactly. This kind of comment is called small talk. Small talk is light conversation. It is not very serious. People use it to create a friendly connection.
So it's like opening the door to a conversation.
Yes, that's a great way to describe it. And the good news is that small talk usually uses very simple English. For example, if someone says, "Wow, the line is long today," you can answer in many easy ways. You could say, "Yeah, it's really busy," or "Yeah, I didn't expect so many people," or even just, "Yeah, that's true."
So I don't need a long answer.
Not at all. Short responses are very natural in English conversations. And after that, you can ask a small question. For example, "Do you come here often?"
Oh, that's a good one.
Yes, it's a classic small talk question. Let's practice a short role play together. I'll start the conversation. "Wow, the line is really long today."
Yeah, it's really busy. Do you come here often?
"Yes, I do. I usually come here in the morning. How about you?"
Sometimes. I like their coffee.
Perfect. See how natural that sounds?
Yes, and it didn't feel stressful.
That's because the conversation is simple. Many learners believe conversations must be impressive, but real conversations are often very basic. Let's look at another situation. You are sitting on a bus or train. Someone next to you asks, "Excuse me, does this bus stop near the city center?"
I think I would say yes, it does.
Great. Then you might add something helpful. For example, "You can get off at Central Street."
Oh, that makes sense.
And sometimes that small moment becomes a conversation. The person might say, "Thank you, I'm new here."
Then maybe I could say, oh, really? Where are you from?
Exactly. You see how the conversation grows step by step?
Yes, it feels like building something slowly.
That's a beautiful way to think about it. A conversation is like building a bridge. Each piece is one small piece. You don't need to build the whole bridge at once, just one piece at a time.
I like that image, but sometimes I still worry about vocabulary. Sometimes I don't know the right word.
That happens to everyone. Even native speakers sometimes forget words.
Really?
Of course. And when that happens, we simply explain the idea in another way. Let me show you an example. Imagine you forget the word umbrella. You can say, the thing we use when it rains.
That's actually very clear.
Yes, communication is flexible. You can describe things. You can use simpler words. You can even use gestures when speaking face to face.
That makes speaking feel less stressful.
Good, because stress blocks communication. Relaxation helps communication. Now, let's talk about another important skill, keeping a conversation going.
Yes, that's difficult for me sometimes. After a few sentences, I don't know what to say.
That's where conversation connectors help. These are short phrases that keep the conversation flowing. Here are some examples. That's interesting. Or, oh, really? I see. That makes sense.
Those are easy?
Yes, and they show the other person you are listening. For example, someone might say, I moved here last year. You can respond, oh, really? How do you like it here?
Ah, that question continues the conversation.
Exactly. Let's practice another small conversation. I moved here last year.
Oh, really? How do you like it here?
I like it a lot. The people are very friendly.
That's nice to hear.
Very natural. And notice something. You don't need perfect grammar. You just need clear ideas.
I think many learners forget that.
Yes, many learners wait until their English is perfect before speaking, but perfect English is not the goal. Connection is the goal. Let's explore another real-life scenario. You are at a park. Someone is walking a very cute dog. You smile and say, your dog is very cute.
That sounds like a nice way to start a conversation.
It is. People love talking about their pets. The person might say, thank you, his name is Milo.
Then I could say, how old is he?
Perfect. And now you have a conversation. Maybe they will ask if you have pets. Maybe you will talk about animals. Maybe you will laugh together.
All from one simple sentence.
Yes, that's the power of simple communication. Now, let's talk honestly for a moment.
Okay.
What is the biggest fear you feel when speaking English with strangers?
I think my biggest fear is silence.
Silence?
Yes, when the conversation suddenly stops. It feels awkward.
That's a very honest answer, and many people feel the same way. But here's an important truth. Silence in conversation is normal.
Really?
Yes, people pause to think, people pause to drink coffee, people pause to look around. A few seconds of silence is completely natural.
That makes me feel better.
Good, because when you want to restart the conversation, you can ask a simple question. For example, so what do you usually do on weekends? Or have you lived here for a long time?
Those are good questions.
Yes, they invite the other person to share something about their life. And when people share stories, conversations become deeper.
I noticed something interesting.
What did you notice?
Most good conversations come from simple curiosity.
That is exactly right. Curiosity is one of the best communication skills. When you are curious about people, conversations happen naturally. You listen more, you ask more questions, and the pressure to be perfect disappears.
That feels very freeing.
Good, because speaking English should open doors, not create stress. Now, let's practice a longer role-play conversation together. Imagine we meet at a small community event where people practice English. You walk up and start the conversation.
Okay, I'll try. Hi, is this your first time at this event?
Yes, it is. I just moved to this area.
Oh, really? Where did you move from?
I moved from Canada.
Wow, that's far. How do you like it here so far?
I like it a lot. The weather is warmer.
Yes, that's true.
See? That conversation flowed naturally.
It actually felt comfortable.
And that is exactly what happens in real life when you focus on connection instead of perfection. Your English becomes a tool, a bridge, a way to meet people and share experiences. And the more you use it, the stronger your confidence becomes. Let's continue building that confidence with more natural speaking practice and deeper conversations. Let's continue building that confidence with more natural speaking practice and deeper conversations. By now, we have talked about many simple ways to start conversations. We talked about small talk, we talked about asking questions, and we talked about how conversations grow step by step. But there is another important part of speaking with confidence, and that is how you think about mistakes.
Ha, mistakes. My old enemy.
Many learners feel that way. But let me ask you something, Lester. When you hear someone speaking English with an accent or with small mistakes, what do you usually think?
Honestly?
Yes, honestly.
I usually think it's impressive because I know they're speaking another language.
Exactly. Most people feel the same way. When someone speaks a second language, people usually feel respect, not judgment.
That's interesting because when I make a mistake, I feel embarrassed.
That feeling is very common, but mistakes are actually part of communication. Even native speakers make mistakes sometimes.
That's true. I've heard people correct themselves while speaking.
Yes, someone might say something like, I went to the store yesterday. Oh, sorry, I mean 2 days ago.
So even they adjust while talking.
Exactly. Conversation is flexible. It is not a perfect script. It is a living interaction between two people. Now, let's talk about another important skill, showing interest during conversations.
What do you mean by that?
When someone is talking, small reactions show that you are listening. For example, really? That's interesting. Oh, wow. That sounds fun. These small phrases are very powerful.
Because they keep the conversation alive.
Yes, and they also make the other person feel heard. Let's practice a short example. I'll tell a short story. You react naturally. Ready?
Ready.
Last weekend, I tried a new restaurant in my neighborhood.
Oh, really?
Yes, and the food was amazing.
That sounds great.
See how smooth that feels?
Yes, it feels very natural.
Because conversation is like a dance. Both people move together. One person speaks, the other responds. Then the roles change. Now, let's imagine a slightly longer conversation. You meet someone at a bookstore. You're both looking at the same shelf. You smile and start talking.
Okay, I'll start. Hi, have you read this book before?
Yes, I read it last year. It's very interesting.
Oh, really? What is it about?
It's about a man who travels around the world and learns about different cultures.
That sounds fascinating.
Very good response. You showed interest, and now the conversation can continue.
I'm starting to see a pattern.
What kind of pattern?
Good conversations are not about complicated English. They're about curiosity and listening.
Exactly. Curiosity creates connection, and connection creates natural conversation. Now, I want to share something very important for every English learner listening today. Confidence does not come from studying more grammar. Confidence comes from using English in real life.
That makes sense.
You build confidence when you speak with a barista, when you ask someone for directions, when you chat with a coworker, or when you say hello to someone new. Each small conversation builds your speaking muscle.
Like exercise for the brain.
Exactly. The more you use it, the stronger it becomes.
I have a question.
Of course.
What should someone do if they feel very shy, like very nervous to start conversations?
That's a wonderful question. If you feel very shy, start with very small interactions. For example, say hello to someone. Say, thank you clearly. Say, have a nice day.
Those are simple.
Yes, but they are still real communication, and over time, those small moments build courage. Now, let's talk about another important skill, showing interest during conversations.
What do you mean by that?
When someone is talking, small reactions show that you are listening. For example, really? That's interesting. Oh, wow. That sounds fun. These small phrases are very powerful.
Because they keep the conversation alive.
Yes, and they also make the other person feel heard. Let's practice a short example. I'll tell a short story. You react naturally. Ready?
Ready.
Last weekend, I tried a new restaurant in my neighborhood.
Oh, really?
Yes, and the food was amazing.
That sounds great.
See how smooth that feels?
Yes, it feels very natural.
Because conversation is like a dance. Both people move together. One person speaks, the other responds. Then the roles change. Now, let's imagine a slightly longer conversation. You meet someone at a bookstore. You're both looking at the same shelf. You smile and start talking.
Okay, I'll start. Hi, have you read this book before?
Yes, I read it last year. It's very interesting.
Oh, really? What is it about?
It's about a man who travels around the world and learns about different cultures.
That sounds fascinating.
Very good response. You showed interest, and now the conversation can continue.
I'm starting to see a pattern.
What kind of pattern?
Good conversations are not about complicated English. They're about curiosity and listening.
Exactly. Curiosity creates connection, and connection creates natural conversation. Now, I want to share something very important for every English learner listening today. Confidence does not come from studying more grammar. Confidence comes from using English in real life.
That makes sense.
You build confidence when you speak with a barista, when you ask someone for directions, when you chat with a coworker, or when you say hello to someone new. Each small conversation builds your speaking muscle.
Like exercise for the brain.
Exactly. The more you use it, the stronger it becomes.
I have a question.
Of course.
What should someone do if they feel very shy, like very nervous to start conversations?
That's a wonderful question. If you feel very shy, start with very small interactions. For example, say hello to someone. Say thank you clearly. Say have a nice day.
Those are simple.
Yes, but they are still real communication, and over time, those small moments build courage. Now, another helpful idea is to set a tiny goal. For example, today I will ask one question in English, or today I will start one small conversation.
That sounds manageable.
Exactly. Small goals create progress, and progress creates motivation.
I really like that idea.
Good, because learning a language is a journey, not a race. Some days you feel confident, some days you feel nervous. Both are normal. Now, before we finish today, let's do one final role play. Imagine you meet someone at a small community event. You both came to practice English. Let's see how a natural conversation might flow.
All right, I'll try again. Hi, is this seat taken?
No, it's free. Please sit.
Thank you. Is this your first time at this event?
Yes, it is. I wanted to practice my English more.
Me too. Where are you from?
I'm from Korea. How about you?
I'm from Cambodia.
Oh, that's wonderful. Have you been learning English for a long time?
For about 2 years.
That's great. Your English sounds very good.
Thank you. I'm still learning.
See how friendly that conversation feels?
Yes, it feels warm and relaxed.
And that is the goal of communication, not perfection, connection. Now, to everyone listening today, remember this. You already know more English than you think. Your voice deserves to be heard. Your stories deserve to be shared. And every conversation you have is a step forward.
So don't wait for perfect English. Start with the English you have today.
Exactly. Thank you so much for spending this time with us. We truly enjoy learning and growing together with you.
Yes, thank you for listening. We hope this conversation gave you more courage to speak English in your daily life.
Keep practicing, keep being curious, and most importantly, keep speaking. This is Cath,
And Lester.
and you've been listening to Speak English with Cath. Goodbye, everyone.
Take care, and we'll talk again soon.